Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure having you. So let's begin with a brief introduction of yourself, your role, and about your company.
I'm Taj Singh, President and CEO of First Nordic Metals. We are involved in exploration and development in the Nordics region, specifically in Sweden and Finland. We have a project that already has a 2.4 million ounce resource in Sweden, which makes it Sweden's largest gold deposit. And in Finland, we also have a resource stage project that is actually the highest grade gold deposit in Finland currently.
As a participant in the Nordic Funds Mines conference, what are your key objectives for attending, and how do you hope this event will contribute to your company's goals in the current mining landscape?
Yeah, it's really great to be here in kind of our home country, because we're really focused on Sweden as our main jurisdiction, and being home here in Stockholm is fantastic. So it's a great chance for us to meet Swedish shareholders as well as those throughout Europe, which this is a European story, and European investors and Swedish investors, etc., really like to support their own projects, which is great. So it's I think it was a natural fit for us. It's an obvious one, and it allows us to really increase the exposure of our company here. And what we like is that other companies, other investors in other parts of the world, as they hear about this conference, they realize really what a mining-friendly jurisdiction Sweden and even Finland really are.
In light of the recent geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions, how is your company working to ensure, or in the future, to ensure resource security and maintain its competitive position in the global market?
Yeah, listen, we're all seeing the gold prices moving up steadily with all of the political uncertainty around the world, the overprinting of money in various parts of the world. Gold, I think, is really set for a bull market. And I think what's specific to our story is the fact that the Nordic countries are trying to be independent in terms of critical raw materials and any supporting other materials. And a big thing is for when you want to become independent is in terms of mining, is you have to allow mining of all types of materials to really start. And often you'll find in countries gold is the first metal that actually really gets traction because it has value, it holds long-term value. So yeah, I think it's a great time right now to really push our portfolio ahead, and it lines up with the kind of mandates of the governments of the Nordic countries.
So as you mentioned, you have a very strong presence in the Nordic region. How would you work to appeal to investors elsewhere, especially in North America, where it's beginning to catch on? ESG is beginning to catch on. I'm sure you guys are heavily involved in ESG because that's something that investors here it's responsible investing plays a significant role here in the landscape here. So how do you appeal elsewhere?
Yeah, listen, our main listing is actually in the Toronto Stock Exchange. I'm based there. Our team is based in Canada. So we've obviously got significant traction in North America regardless. But even if you think of worldwide investors, one of the main criteria for investors is once a company has certain size and interesting assets and a good management team behind it, is where are they located? And what we're finding here is the Nordics are really stepping up to be one of the best jurisdictions in the world to do business in. You've got Canada and Australia, which are well known for mining. There's various parts of the world that have geologically very fertile and very prospective, but the other kind of uncertainties that we see in Central America, South America, Africa, Asia even, investors have to think about that and weigh that. What you're seeing here in Scandinavia is very, secure tenure, good kind of political situation overall. It's a developed nation, long history of mining specifically in this region. All these things are important for investors to think about, and I really think the Nordics is becoming one of the top jurisdictions for investors to look at to invest in.
With your recent merger with Barsele Minerals has created a significant land position along the gold line belt in Sweden. How does this consolidation impact your exploration strategy and potential for new discoveries moving forward?
So in February 2024, Gold Line Resources merged with Barsele Minerals, as you noted, and you've put together now a land package of 100 kilometers of strike. So I think what it's really done is it's kind of set the company up very strongly because there's already a resource stage project, Sweden's largest gold deposit, And you've got now 50 kilometers on the north, 50 kilometers in the south of all very prospective land where you can find other deposits. And I think that's an extremely unique position we're in, because you don't find a lot of companies out there that have an asset that underpins them, but then huge upside potential, blue sky potential. We really have it. We truly have it. Again, in a jurisdiction that's gaining a lot of favor.
With the increasing global interest in gold mining in particular, in a stable region such as the Nordics, how is First Nordic Metals positioning itself to capitalize on these market trends?
Yeah, I think everything's lining up for us actually right now. Gold we know is hot. There's a huge kind of discrepancy between gold equities and the gold price, which producers will see it first, that there'll be some catch-up. Then developers, which we are, and explorers, which we have a huge part of our story is exploration potential too, where you see the huge potential returns. It'll all come in time. It's been a lag, and it's been tough for us to take, but it's going to come. So already, in terms of our key commodity, gold, everything's looking very strong. And then we talked about this before, is the jurisdiction we're in is an extremely hot jurisdiction in terms of M&A, in terms of new companies coming in terms of investors in the area. They're really looking to get in and get behind companies and projects. So from that point of view, we're also covered. So both the commodity and the jurisdiction we're in, and really when you get down to it, it's the asset that matters. And I think we have one of the best assets, not even globally, but clearly one of the best gold assets in Europe. And so all of the things have kind of lined up and ticked the boxes for us.
So I guess with the current, as you mentioned, this is in the Nordic region. It's a very secure jurisdiction. What are some of the challenges and opportunities that you see with that, expanding elsewhere, and in the industry as a whole within the next 12 to 18 months?
I think kind of the support for projects is growing, and it needs to continue to move in that direction. The government in Sweden right now has become very supportive of mining. They're in for at least another 2 years. So we'd love to see that continue. And I really, truly do think, from being here, from talking to various government officials, even on this trip, that it's going to continue to grow. And I think the same will happen, and we'll see in Finland. It's already been happening. And I think it's something that other countries can learn from, that when you can really support and get behind industries that are going to help your country as a whole be independent, generate revenue, tax revenue. I think that's other countries should actually look to the Nordics of what's happened over the past 4 or 5, 6 years. That things have just transformed, and the ability to bring in investment money and foreign money can really be drastic if you really can get behind a key industry such as the natural resources.
Well, again, I appreciate taking the time to speak with us today, and best of luck at the conference. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.